how to update these media controls in the RHDO series. I figured I could get one of these lessons ready for you, and then you could kind of copy that out to the rest. Just save this really quick. So here I am in RHD202. I just wanted to kind of get this set up for you. In the skills activity, we have these disabled looking ones, right? Where the buttons are there, but they don't do anything. I'll just preview it for you. Okay. So, all right. Here's the preview. Actually, don't like, that's weird that I can see the play and the pause. I need to make sure that one of those is not like that. Okay, so let's just go in and do that really quick. So let's just go to question 1 so I know where I'm at. There's a group right here called the Disabled 1 group for disabled media controls. I'm just gonna let's just delete pause. Let's just delete pause out of there. So now it just looks like a disabled play button, a disabled replay, and a disabled closed captioning. So now I'm gonna select that group in my timeline here. Did you see how I got to the timeline? I went down here to the bottom of the screen where you can see timeline, states, notes, and so in the this is like if slide notes had come in from PowerPoint. And you probably already know this from digging around PHCC and stuff. So I'm gonna, I can right click on this, or I can right click down here and copy it too. Just make sure that you get the whole thing. So that's why I kind of like right click on the timeline group and copy it. Now I'm gonna go over here, and because I did some edits to that, I'm gonna delete this group, and I'm gonna Control V, copy in the new disabled group. Handy like that, right? Okay, here's a slide that still has the old media controls. So sometimes you're going to have to delete them right off the slide like this. And sometimes the media controls are on the master slides. So hopefully I could show you how to delete right off the actual content slide, and then we might need to also show you how to delete. So I'm just clicking on it and hitting the delete button. Sometimes there's 2 because there's like an audio on off that I had built in there, and then I'm just Control V copying that in. It's still on my clipboard, as they say, so it's still copied. The new disabled group is still copied, so I can just, that's why I can just keep hitting Control V to copy it in. So I'm just gonna run all, there was a lot, this is a long skill activity. So this is how I update with the new media controls in the footer. And then after this, you know how to go over and hook up the triggers in the trigger panel over here. You already know how to do that. In the skill activity, there won't be any triggers to hook up for the media controls because we don't have any audio. That's why we're putting the disabled ones in. I'm just going to go ahead and finish doing this really quick. Except there's a lot of questions here. So in this lesson, I've actually already updated the slides that have audio with our new media controls. I copy those in from a DBFF lesson. So what you're seeing here is often what you're seeing as I you know, put the new media controls in, and then you add the audio, and then you hook up the media. So if I was gonna hand this over to you, hand RHDO2 over to you, which I will, you'll still need to go in and rehook up the audio, but the audio clip is still here, and so is the closed captioning that's attached to it and everything. You could just, what we need to do is delete this replay layer, and then just go ahead and hook up the audio. And I wonder, I don't know that I actually had a variable counter for each of these slides. Oh, yep, I do. I have the P3 audio play. So you'll just want to make sure that I had that on each slide. The audio play, yep, there's P4. So, you know, this will change to restart, or yeah, change state of restart 1 to normal, I'm assuming is what we're doing here. Yep, that's right. And then restart, we'll also have to play the audio 1, and then play needs to play audio 1, pause needs to play audio 1, or pause audio 1. And yep, it should be just the same as what you're seeing before, as the same triggers that you are making sure we're all set up on the right side of the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and save this out, and then I'm gonna go over to RHDO. I'm gonna copy, did you see how I went to a slide here? I copy in the timeline again, and the top 4 buttons here are our audio controls. Let's just preview this to make sure it's working right. It should be. It should be. We should see the pause button on start. Yep. The restart should actually turn to enabled when the audio is done. Let me just make sure that possibly I just didn't set up my trigger correctly. Okay. Oh, change start of restart 1 to normal. Not when the timeline ends, but when the audio ends on this slide. That was a thing. When media completes. So actually, yep. So when you'll see, if you see that trigger up here that says change state of restart 1 to normal when timeline ends, we actually want to adjust that. That was an old bad trigger that I set up. So what we actually want that restart 1 to change to normal when audio 1 completes. And so now let's preview this. Oops, I think we're previewing the whole darn thing. That'll take forever. Just this slide, and pause works, play works, closed captioning works, and restart works. Great. Okay, so let's go ahead and do what you would do now if you're moving on from RHDO2 to RHDO1 or the rest of the series. I would take these 4 buttons off of the slide, Control C to copy. Now I'm going to go over to RHDO1, and I'll make sure all these files are up on the server for you, and open this up. And we're just going to go to slide 1. We'll see the old audio controls here. Okay, so restart actually does live on this slide. I'm going to delete it, but the rest of these, you'll notice that you can't select them. They are on the master slide. Go over here. I'm going to delete that replay layer. Thank goodness we don't need that anymore. And now to get to these buttons on the master slide, I'm going to go up to my top ribbon up here. I'm going to click View, and then I'm going to go over to the 3rd button in that says Slide Master. Now we're in the master slide view, and this is where I've hidden some of the stuff that I thought could be global, but it's not. So you can see that this slide is used by if you hover over this, you'll see it's used by 16 slides. I'm going to delete. I'm just going to go in here and delete everything. Now remember, I actually still have the new media controls on my copied on my clipboard, hanging out in outer space there. You'll see that there's other master slides here that I maybe created, and they have the old media controls too, but I really don't care about that. This is actually not used by any slides. Neither is this. You could even delete it if you want, but you don't have to. Let's keep this one in there just because it's just a, anyways, okay, so those aren't affecting anything. So I'm gonna close the master slide view. Now we're back to the slide view of page 1, and I'm gonna go ahead and Control V and copy those media controls in. And then I'm gonna go over here and hook up my triggers for the buttons. Also maybe audio 1, and then, yep, change state of restart 1 to normal. When audio 1 completes, that's what we want. And we have our audio counter up here. Our audio play counter is working also. So this first slide is set up in our HD201 also. So I'm going to go ahead and the only thing to remember is that any slides without audio get this disabled set. The disabled set is in our HD202, and any slides with audio get this new set now on slide 1 in our HD201 and all throughout our HD202. So I'm going to go ahead and upload these files to the server for you, these updated story files, and I think that the RHDO series mods is where you could go.